All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone. I'm your brother, Rabbi Knapp, coming out with a lesson, Lord's will. This is edifying to the Lord's elect. I found this online. It's from Hustle Bitch on X. It says it's actually happening. Total chaos and hundreds of thousands rush to board Noah's Arks right now. I guess this dude, Evo Noah, created all these arcs, and now people, he prophesied that in 2020, December 25th, 2025, that there was going to be another flood, and all these people started flocking to it. And I just want to share this. I don't know if this is AI generated. It looks real. I don't know. But this dude's real. This dude at the bottom of the screen. And I don't know what the hell they saying. But if you actually believe this dude is Noah and he came and he was gonna come save y'all, something wrong with you. I think this is in Ghana, Africa. I'll check out. I don't understand why they're showing this view instead of something, them boarding the boat. They might just be traveling through there. You gotta watch out what's online. What's this dude's name? Let me just check this. Let me ask Grok on this. Is this a real video? The X post documents chaotic crowds in Ghana surging toward 8 wooden arcs constructed by self-proclaimed prophet Evo Noah, who claimed a divine vision of a biblical scales flood on December 25th, 2025, drawing nearly 400,000 followers who sold possessions to board. Video, they sold possessions to board. These people are stupid as hell. And you know what? A lot of people are like that. That's why you have cases where someone like a Jim Jones gets you somewhere and you drink the Kool-Aid and all of you die because you lack understanding. Video footage reveals families with belongings pushing through narrow terrain in apparent panic, but no meteorological evidence supports a global catastrophe, contrasting with localized West African flooding risks from climate patterns documented in IPCC reports. Hours later, Noah announced a postponement after buying a $100,000 Mercedes with donations, fueling scam allegations and replies and echoing failed prophecies like the 2012 Mayan calendar hype, where cognitive dissonance often sustains believer loyalty per psychological studies on cult dynamics. Stupid. And you know what? They broke that down perfectly. So whether the video is real or not, I don't see any ships. But Grok he ain't saying it's fake. And there's plenty of situations where you have these false prophets. This is more of an extreme false prophet. But even somebody that just comes out of nowhere, he ain't been teaching for years. He ain't switched his doctrine. He just came out of nowhere. And look how many people flock to this bullshit. Like just 400,000 people. He's telling you there's going to be a flood like in Genesis 6, the 7th chapter or 6th chapter, 6 and 7. And you people don't understand. This shows you that you people don't understand the Bible. And out of all these people, no one told him, hey, man, he did make a covenant with Noah that he would never flood the earth again. So why are you believing this, people? Because you don't have any understanding. Here it is. You sold all your belongings so you can get on a boat. You're a fool. But he's riding around in a Mercedes-Benz all of a sudden. That's what you get. Let me grab this in the book of Genesis. Genesis chapter, let's start at 6. Corruption of mankind. And then Genesis chapter 7. The flood. And let's go to chapter 8. The chapter 8, the flood subsides. So the flood already came. Okay. Let me see, Genesis 8. And let's see, where does he say it? Let me just Google it. What verse does the Lord make a covenant with Noah? Or it tells me I didn't even finish my sentence. This is the next verse. Genesis 9. In 9, and I behold, I established my covenant with you and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you, neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood, neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. So Genesis 9 and 11, I ain't even got to go all the way down to 17, but let's just keep reading it for so you know. And God said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. And the bow is talking about a rainbow. Let's look at this word bow. You still see rainbow, so the covenant's still in place. Now, that doesn't mean he doesn't flood areas, but he's not going to flood the whole earth. Rainbow. Okay. What's the word for rainbow? Kesheth.
Strong's H, 7198. Kesheth.
Kesheth. So there you go. But because you lack understanding, you'll just follow anybody, anything that sound good, or you'll just follow it like a fool. In 2025, you're still being deceived by something that happened years ago. That's foolishness. And these are the same type of people in herds are going to flock to go get the MOTB. Genesis chapter 9 and verse 12. And God said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. And that's what the rainbow was created for. It wasn't created for LGBTQ agendas. That's them. That's the wicked perverting the scriptures. And he ain't make no covenant with the LGBTQ. The only covenant he made with them, only law he made with them is in Leviticus, the 20th chapter. Let me grab that real quick while we're on this topic. Leviticus 20, in verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. So that's what they get. Now, if you want to get, he might drown them. He might do things to them. But he's not going to do it to the whole world, is the point. Genesis chapter 9 and verse 14. And it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And you see the bow in the cloud. So he's not bringing forth the flood. That's what that means. That's the covenant that he made with Noah. Okay, and it says into every beast of the earth. So he ain't gonna flood them again. So there's no need for Ebo Noah. There shouldn't be anybody. That might be specific. I don't know who actually believed it. I mean, he was going viral. I mean, it's amazing that he can even create an ark. I don't know how to do that. So the fact that he's making arks from hand supposedly that's an amazing thing to do, but there's no flood coming. If you're not preparing your minds for Jacob's trouble, you're living in vanity. You don't know what the will of the Lord is. You're out of your damn mind. You're subject to believe anything. Genesis chapter 9, verse. Where am I? Verse 15, and I will remember my covenant which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. So that's his covenant that he made with all flesh, with Noah. Genesis 9, verse 16, and the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. So as more you see that, it's like the Lord reminding, his creation is reminding him not to flood this place with water. As wicked as it is. I'm sure it tells you in Psalm 7 and 11 that the Lord's angry with the wicked every day. Let me look at this word everlasting in Genesis 9, verse 16. See if this is everlasting, perpetual, ancient. Always, evermore, long duration, antiquity, futurity, forever, everlasting, evermore, perpetual, old, ancient, world, long time, continuous existence, indefinite and unending future, eternity. So it doesn't change. Numbers, where it says, I am the Lord and I change not, KJV. Malachi 3, oh, I thought it was in Numbers. Let's grab that. Actually, matter of fact, Malachi 3, verse 6. Let's grab that as a matter of fact. Malachi 3, verse 6. For I am the Lord Yahweh, I change not, therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. So he don't change his word. If he says it, he's going to do it. So if he makes a covenant, it's going to be fulfilled, just like every other covenant. He's that's a big deal. Okay. Let me see. Numbers 23. I think that's what I was thinking about. Numbers 23, verse 19. God is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Have he said, and shall he not do it? Or have he spoken, and shall he not make it good? So he will. And he has. It's 2025, just like he said. Noah was a liar. He's been exposed. Now it's been postponed all of a sudden. That's a false prophet. Okay, and there's many more false prophets that are coming, that are here. There's more false prophecies you're going to hear. And if you fell for this one, you should wake up. There's plenty of 2012, 2000, people have said things that weren't true. Now, there's a difference between hastening the day and just being a complete idiot. This is an extreme case of false prophecy. But, men of the Lord have, hastened the day, and it didn't come to pass too. But you need to know the difference. Someone that dwells with wisdom and someone that doesn't. This dude don't dwell with wisdom. He's wearing sackcloth like a fool, building arks for a flood that's not coming. Genesis chapter 9, verse 16, and the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, this is the token of the covenant that I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. So there you go. And here's this nigga right here.
Still, let me catch you say your friend a book, Noah. God reveals to redeem. I have prayed, I have fasted, I have donated, and I have built. And through my prayers, I got another vision.
Kofi TV.
And in the vision, when you look at the number of people coming all over the country, all over the world into the ark, the expansion of the ark.
And the arcs that he was building they weren't even that big. They probably fit at the max 5 or 6 people. So even with this is how stupid these people are. Just even look, I don't know how many arcs he built. I know he built more than one. But just looking at the ark, you weren't going to be able to fit more than maybe 30 people. And then he got droves of people coming selling it. So that's just how stupid people are, man.
Couldn't contain them. So I shared my vision, contain them.
Hold on,
So the expansion of the ark couldn't contain them. So I shared my vision to some great men of God who also interceded with me. After the intercession, God has given us some time to build more.
And first of all, he don't even know the name of the Lord. He's calling him God. He's not even calling him God. He's calling him God, like G-A-W-D. He's a fool. He got sackcloth on. He don't even got any fringes. He's a bug out.
Acts, in addition to the 10, that will contain all.
It reminds me of that movie, Clarence, the Book of Clarence, man. Telling you lies.
Contain all of us. So,
Hold on. Let me rewind this, Salakia.
to build more arks, in addition to the 10, that will contain all of us. So, tomorrow.
Oh my God. You know what? It might be all fake, but I figured, I don't know. Spirit hopped on me to say something about this dude.
Nobody should rush to any location. I am not selling tickets. I am not taking money from anyone also. So please, stay home. Enjoy yourself. Have fun. And also, I am wishing all of you Merry Christmas.
This dude's a demon, man. Now he's wishing you a Merry Christmas, man. I'm telling you.
And a Happy New Year.
Oh, man, that's funny.
So, the ark is there. Repent. 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 God bless you.
This dude's a demon. If you fell for that, man, you out of your damn mind. But on a further note, it says, while Ukrainian draft evaders are dying in these icy mountains, you're going to have a draft here in America. And you're going to try to escape. And guess what? You're going to run into a rough patch, and that might be where you die.
So what you see on the right-hand side is Ukraine.
Dan Venga knows how dangerous these mountains can be. He and his team have rescued hundreds of Ukrainians who tried to cross them.
They don't have knowledge, they don't have experience, and they don't have professional equipment, because on these mountains you need professional equipment to be alive.
To survive. The Carpathian Mountains that cut along Romania's 400-mile border.
You rather go over the Carpathian Mountains than to join the Ukrainian army? You out of your damn mind.
border with Ukraine, deadly magnet for Ukrainian men fleeing
Crazy, man. Let me rewind. I just saw this building right here out of nowhere.
magnet for Ukrainian men fleeing conscription at home and seeking freedom in the EU.
You can see how steep these mountains are. It is frankly astonishing that up to 100 Ukrainians are making this crossing still every single week.
The risks are huge. Since Russia's invasion in 2022, the Salvamont Mountain Rescue Service has carried out countless perilous missions that have saved 377 Ukrainian lives. The longest operation lasted nearly 6 days. Not everyone makes it. The Romanian border police say 29 Ukrainians have...
Damn, they all... See? And this happened during... when Esau had his other draft, when y'all didn't want to go fight with the Vietnamese, y'all were trying to get into Canada to try to escape inscription, but there's no way to escape because Canada, he about to take over Canada. He about to take over Greenland and all that. That's what he claims to do. You ain't gonna be nowhere to run. Okay? If you over here, it ain't gonna be nowhere to run. And if you don't go, he probably gonna lock you up. And if he does lock you up, you're gonna wish you weren't locked up. It's not gonna be an easy ride in there. It's gonna be hardcore. Cause you're gonna have, jail's about to get crazy too. Especially when they start implementing the MOTB. That's not gonna be no walk in the park. You know, Jake like to say, oh, I can do it. 10 years sitting on the toilet, and it ain't gonna be like that. You're gonna have to take this chip. You know, they're gonna fuck you up if you don't.
Ukrainians have died crossing the mountains and the Titsa River that separates the two countries.
This is a job we were prepared. We are training every day, and this is a job we are doing. It's not about being Ukrainian or Russian or American. It's about being human.
A human being. Yeah. So if you could deliver a message to the men of Ukraine, would you tell them, stop trying to cross through these mountains? It's too dangerous?
I really can't say, don't cross the mountains. I can say, take care of you.
It's a lesson that Dima, who asked us not to reveal his identity, learned the hard way. He made the crossing shortly after receiving his draft papers early on in the war. Things quickly went wrong when his group got lost.
Минус 20, без еды, без воды.
Без воды?
Да.
No water? No food?
Снег только.
Just the snow.
20 километров шел босиком.
Damn.
Я понимал, что у меня как бы проблемы с ногами, но на то время я не чувствовал. Почувствовал только тогда, когда уже был в больнице.
And then did they have to remove all the toes?
Nigga got, his foot is swollen. He got, I forgot what you call it, man. Where your feet turn black, man. That's crazy.
Да. Если бы меня не нашли,
If the rescuers hadn't found me within 2 hours,
еще 2 часа, спасатели бы...
I wouldn't be talking to you now. Crazy.
Я бы с вами сейчас не разговаривал.
Stories like Dima's have done little to stop the flow. According to the Romanian border police, more than 30,000 Ukrainians.
Dude can't even walk straight. He think he's through. He's through, man. The scriptures also say we're gonna be like pilgrims in the earth, man. I can't imagine what that means, man. I know it means it's, you know, a pilgrim is someone that's a temporary stay. This is not your rest. You're here, but you know we don't know all the details about how the Lord's gonna maneuver us. But He said we're gonna eat, and ultimately we're gonna be safe. So it's gonna be just like how Israel was when they came out of Egypt, and they were met with the Red Sea. That's all you see is water. You're gonna think you're gonna die, but then the Lord split the Red Sea. So we're hoping on a miracle at the end of the day. You know, that's a crazy thing to think of. You got the enemy behind you like that, and then you got nothing in front of you, man. All you got to put 100% trust in the Lord, man.
Ukrainians have entered the country illegally since the war began. Martial law prohibits eligible men between the ages of 23 and 60 from leaving Ukraine.
Martial law prohibits the men from 18 to 60?
Eligible men between the ages of 23 and 60 from leaving Ukraine.
Damn, look what he just had to jump to get over some barbed wire, man.
Many see crossing these mountains as their only option. Numbers are down from their peak in 2024 when the mobilization age was lowered to 25. But even now, as winter sets in, the crossings continue.
And the nigga Duck he's bombing Nigeria right now. While you opening up gifts and got your guard down, that's when he's doing his bombing campaign. So he'll rock you to sleep with that, because a lot of y'all, you ain't really like, you don't get it. You don't get it. He does this all the time, but you don't get it. You don't understand how this works. You worried about Epstein'S files and stupid shit like that. Meanwhile, he's doing a bombing campaign in a different country. None of these countries he didn't tell you about. He was talking about Nigeria, but now, you know, you just heard about Syria. I mean, what other areas? There's a bunch of other areas where wars are starting to pick back up, but now he's bombing in Nigeria. That's crazy.
Безпечний, надійний, швидкий вихід за кордон чоловікам. Саме з нами.
For those who can afford it, some smugglers openly sell their services on TikTok and Telegram. 9,000 euros to get to Moldova, 12,000 euros or around $14,000 to Romania. Artem, as he calls himself, says he helps facilitate these escapes.
We rescued, I think, in this moment, more than 600 people.
I find it really interesting that you use the word
So 600 times 12,000, that's a lot of money.
rescue.
Of course, because I see this situation like that, and I think we rescue people who just want to leave to build their future.
And then you go to Romania, and then they ship you back. They deport you back to Ukraine, and then you end up in the war. Now you $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in debt or negative, and you back at the place where you originally left.
What do you say to people who view you and who view those who are trying to leave as traitors?
I don't take care about them, to be honest. I help people, I save people.
Ukrainian authorities see it differently, faced with a manpower crisis as the war heads towards its 5th year.
They probably be using him to get y'all. Yeah, everyone get in this van. I'm gonna help y'all get to Romania. And then he brings you right into their hands. You can't trust anybody in these last days. That's why if you ain't occupied in these prophecies, at the most opportune moment, if your faith fail you, man, you're gonna think it's better to go trust in this. No, F that, man. It's better because I'm sure this devil's gonna have a bunch of tricks up his sleeve the same way in these last days, man. And you want to make sure your trust is where it needs to be.
Men caught trying to leave the country illegally are rounded up. Some
This nigga sitting in the seat. These people are through.
reported being mobilized shortly afterwards.
Mobilized shortly afterwards. You were hired, and then 2 weeks later, that's all they need to train you into a soldier, ultimately. It don't take that long for you to get to learn your weapon, how to take it apart within a minute or 60 seconds. You can clean it and do all of that. You pass the test you get the blindfold. You can do your gun blindfolded. Once you get to know your gun, that's it. This is how you throw a grenade, and most of it is all experience after that. Practice on your aim. It's how you take down a drone. You're gonna have to hit that motherfucker right here. And they're like, damn, there ain't no hope. They got thousands of deaths every single week.
Hi, Victor. How are you?
34-year-old Kiev taxi driver Victor Pinchasov has just crossed into Romania.
I'm glad you're okay. You survived. How long did it take you?
5 days, 4 nights.
5 days.
5 days, 4 nights. You're illegal in Romania and you're doing interviews with a woman. You're a fucking idiot. Someone like this is an idiot. He probably died not too long after. They probably grabbed him after this video.
4 nights. Walking through the mountains.
Yeah, 3 big mountains.
He says the journey was tough, but the decision to leave was easy. His 5-month-old daughter, Ava, is in Switzerland, and he has little faith in ongoing negotiations to end the war.
Do you believe that there is going to be peace? No.
I want to believe, but I see nobody wants peace.
What's the most important reason you left?
My daughter had freedom. I want to live and understand that I'm free. I can live in prison. I'm free man.
It is a bleak outlook shared by many Ukrainian men, willing to leave their homeland behind to take their futures into their own hands. Clarissa Ward, CNN, Maduro'S, Romania.
That's crazy. Let me grab this in the book of Joel, chapter 2. Let me a draft here too. Joel 2, verse 20. It says, but I will remove far off from you the northern army. And this is the U.S. military. He's going to be removing them. Okay? So people are going to have to join for them to move them. And he has people all over a bunch of military bases all over the place. Syria's kicking off. Israel's kicking off. The Ukrainian, that's kicking off. Taiwan, that's kicking off. You see what's going on with Russia. They got North Korean allies joining that war. There's some Chinese that were over there. I think they found, I don't know if, I can't remember if there was any Africans or not, but, it's not just, you might have to go help an ally. There's conscriptions in Germany, conscriptions in Europe. So it hasn't happened here yet, but if all your allies are doing it, eventually they're going to know, hey, is America down? Are they, committed to what we're doing or not? And eventually they're going to do it. You think all your allies are supposed to send their kids and not you? How does that look with your allies? You don't want them to switch up on you, do you? But I will remove far from you the northern army. Let me look at this word, remove. Remove.
Strong's H7368. Rahak.
And it says, remove, go far away, be distant, to send far away. And that's what they're going to do to you. They're going to cast, drive, get, put, remove, be to, withdraw. Let me ask chat if this preset, let me ask it. Is Joel 2:20 precept on military conscription? It says Northern Army. It's not going to break it down like that. But I just want to see what it says. Short answer is no. Of course, they're gonna say no. What Bible verses introduce military conscription? Let's see if it comes up in any. Numbers 1-2. Take ye the sum of all the congregation from 20 years old and upward, all that are able to go forth to war in Israel. That is military conscription. When they start doing a mandatory census for war. Numbers 26-2. All that are able to go to war in Israel. Joshua 1:14. All the mighty men of valor shall pass before your brethren armed. 1 Samuel 8:11. He will take your sons and appoint them for himself for his chariots, and he will appoint him captains. Hey, that's the spirit, because that's King Saul. You know, that's the irony of it, because you wanted that king to rule over you. The Israelites wanted this specific king to rule over them, and he didn't do any good for them. He did. He tried. You know, Saul wasn't always wicked, but he wasn't obedient. And that's sort of like Duck. Duck's trying to, he wants the place to get better. You voted for him, and he's going to lead you the same way. He's going to appoint your sons and appoint them for himself for his chariots. He's building new battleships. So they're going to need people to occupy those battleships. And who's he going to send? He's going to send you. Saul's emergency draft, 1 Samuel 11:7. He took a yoke of oxen and hewed them in pieces. And the fear of the Lord fell on the people, and they came out with one consent. But this Northern Army, if you could receive it, is talking about the U.S. military. And they're going to be going out, and I would drive them into a land that's barren and desolate. Let me look at this word, drive. So the U.S. military is going into the Middle East, and it's going to be so bad that people are going to have to fight. And that's when this place is, because a lot of people are not going to want to fight, just like these Ukrainians. They're going through what you Americans are going to go through eventually. That's going to happen again here. There's going to be another military draft. You're going to try to escape into Canada. But Canada, they're going to have to go to war too. Because like I said, Duck was already talking about taking over Canada, making it the 51st state, I think he said, as well as Greenland. So he got something on the table for their asses. Pardon, drive them. I'm looking for the word drive. And I will drive Nada.
Strong's H 5080. Strong's H 5080. Nada.
Cast out, it says. Thrust, drive away. So he gonna send that military out to a land that's barren and desolate, and that's talking about the Middle East, with his face toward the EC. The EC is the Euphrates River, in his hinder part toward the utmost sea, which is the Red Sea. The Red Sea. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he have done great things. So you're gonna die there. That's where that ill stink's gonna come from, because you ain't gonna make it back. What's this? Powerful holiday storm leaves homes buried in Southern California. So the Lord was working today. Powerful holiday storm slams Southern California as residents evacuate. Damn, that's a whole mudslide. He buried this whole house. Damn, that's crazy. crazy. He's up like 4 or 5 feet. Anyways, man, that's crazy. What's this? Epstein's secret science plan to create genetically superhumans. Here, let me see this.
Jeffrey Epstein, the late convicted sex offender, was known for his extraordinary wealth and power. But beyond the crimes that shocked the world, there are new revelations that shed light on Epstein's chilling and bizarre obsession. They are even more disturbing and unreal. Well, reports suggest that Epstein was fascinated by transhumanism. He dreamt of creating a so-called super race of humans using his own DNA. He reportedly believed that through artificial...
Yo, this dude, man. These people, man. Amalek's a fucking nut job, man. It ain't gonna work, Amalek. You're going into slavery, man. Give it up. The fuck? You don't want to go into slavery, then stop being wicked. You can't. Psalms 2:1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? It's vain to think of transhuman. You can't you can't get out of this body. The Lord ain't gonna give you the power to escape judgment. You're gonna be in this body. He's gonna judge your ass in it. Psalms 2:2. The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. So he don't want to be judged, so he wants to go into these transhumanistic, because he's going to be judged. He wants to escape the judgments of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, but he can't. So he wants to break the bands which connects him to these judgments, these bodies. He want to get out of the body, you know, so he can escape the judgment of the Lord, but it's not going to work. But he's deceived into thinking it will. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have him in derision. And the Lord's laughing at him because he's fully set in him to do evil, because the Lord ain't judged him already. His science is deceiving him. You ask a bunch of these scientists, they got this CEO of Palantir, damn bug out, he probably think the same shit. So when you have that mindset where you can escape the judgments of the Lord, that's an evil path. You'll do all types of shit, man. Show you how to show yourself to think you can transgress every law. You get proud. Psalms 2:4. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have him in derision. Let's look at this word derision. Contemptuous ridicule or mockery. He's mocking him. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. So he's going to vex them in his wrath. Let's look at this word vex. Bahal.
Strong's H 926. Bahal.
To be disturbed, dismayed, terrified. You're going to be terrified, man. You're going to put the fear of God in you when he gets your ass. So this word derision.
Strong's H 3932. La'ag.
Have in derision, laugh to scorn. Mock. He'll mock you. Then shall he speak, Psalms 2:5, unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. Meaning he gonna destroy you. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. And we're declaring the decree also, which includes him being destroyed. Asking me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. So he gave that all over to his son. Thou art my son, Yahushua, this day have I begotten thee. So he gave it to his son. The heathen are in his inheritance, and his son's going to share them with his elect. Psalms 2:9, thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Because that's the kind of vessel you are. You're a vessel made for dishonor. Something that can be broken into pieces, but the vessel of honor can't be broken. Its integrity is what is going to be shown in these last days. It's going to make it through all adversity. But you're not made for that. You're made to be destroyed. Psalms 2:10, be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. And that's what we're doing. We serve Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua with fear and we're rejoicing with trembling, because we don't know if we're part of that number until we're on the chariot. Kiss the Son lest he be angry and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. And we're going to put our trust in him. He putting his trust in transhumanism because he's a devil. He's going to be destroyed. I'm talking about Amalek. They all got the same mindset as Jeffrey Epstein.
Artificial intelligence and genetic engineering. He could cheat death and live forever. The revelations.
You see, that's what Amalek thinks, and it's not going to happen. That's the blessing everlasting that was given to the Israelites. That's not your blessing. He wants to get it on the left-hand side. It's not going to happen.
Deepen concerns about Epstein's manipulation of science, wealth, and influence. Adding to the unease is Epstein's reported interest in cryonics. It's the science of freezing bodies or brain after death in the hope of future revival. Now, according to...
Probably that's why all these kids are missing. Put these kids through, sacrifice these kids in the name of science and technology. So I can see if this works and if that works. Yeah, I'm just going to gather them up together. I'm going to use this bitch over here, and she going to go recruit for me. Evil. But it's not going to work, because guess what? The Lord's going to give us the power so we can bind your kings with chains and put your fetters of irons on you devils. And then Obadiah 1:18. Goodbye.
New York Times, Epstein told associates that he wanted his brain frozen after death. He believed this would allow him to be resurrected in the...
Oh, now you want resurrection too? See, they don't want to go through what Yahushua went through, fighting for righteousness' sake. They think they can get it on their own, and that's not the case. That's not how you get it. Yahushua showed you you don't have the ability to do that. You're here to be wicked as hell.
Future to spread his DNA, treating his own body as a biological legacy. Now, in the aftermath of his 2008 sex trafficking conviction, Epstein reportedly hoped to see the human race with his DNA.
And sex trafficking is probably an understatement of what this nigga was really doing. You finding these people with bullets in them, you think that's how they died, and he probably did something else completely different. He'd rather be accused of being a murderer than expose the rest of the operation that's really happening.
He reportedly planned to impregnate 20 women at a time at his ranch in New Mexico. One of his properties were young women, including minors, who were allegedly abused. Though there is little evidence that the scheme ever progressed beyond fantasy, prominent scientists include...
Sure, who the hell? Look at this motherfucker. He's in the fucking wheelchair, still fucking out of his... Come on, he's there. He's sitting there, fucking can't even fucking move, and he still found a way to get up on this fucking island. He on a fucking wheelchair, that expensive ass wheelchair is speaking for him, and he's just, it's just his spirit. As long as he can move around, he wants to be a demon. Who the hell is this guy over here? He looks like somebody I know. He looks like a regular damn Edomite. Like a professor at a large university. Prestigious university. He's a devil's.
Including the late Stephen Hawking, regularly attended
This nigga red as hell.
dinners, lunches, and conferences held by Epstein. He reportedly discussed DNA editing, using his wealth to access the cutting edge of biological research for his own interests. The web runs deeper and...
Of course he wants to edit his genes, because his genes are shit. You can't even produce anymore. You're through.
darker than most dare to admit. Reports suggest that Epstein's circle included Murray Gell-Mann, who proposed the quark, the evolutionary biologist Stephen Jay Gould, the neurologist and author Oliver Sacks, and the theoretical physicist Frank Wilczek. On one occasion, Epstein held a lunch at Harvard's program for evolutionary dynamics. Even after his release from prison, Epstein continued to be a frequent visitor at Harvard University. Between 2010 and...
Of what? Howard or Harvard? Harvard University, to be a frequent visitor at Harvard University between 2010
2018, Epstein
and 2018. Harvard University. I wonder what kind of science projects they doing over there. You got you pieces of shit doing over there. You paying them to do some wicked ass science project for them, for the wicked elite. Fools.
Went to the program for evolutionary dynamic officers for more than 40 times.
Evolutionary dynamic officers for more than 40 times. Lucky, let me rewind this.
Dynamic officers for more than 40 times. He reportedly had helped fund with a $6.5 million donation. In 2011, he gave $20,000 to the Worldwide Transhumanist Association, a project that now operates as Humanity Plus. This donation aligned perfectly with his narcissistic goal of using science to extend his own life. The Epstein files reveal a man who believed he was above nature itself, his cryonics and eugenics fantasies.
Sound like an Edomite. He thinks he's above nature. He thinks he's God for crying. He thinks he's above God.
These stand as a testament to his ultimate delusion that wealth could buy him immortality.
Oh, man. Esau, is she not exposing your ass? Come on. You know this is talking about you. You know the Lord's using her to talk about your red ass. You going into slavery. You're going to be immortally getting your ass kicked. You're going into a pit. WION, man. I'm telling you, I'm impressed with WION. I'm going to have to share this. Epstein's Secret Science. It should say Amalek. So what you devils like? Things a damn science project with you damn devils. Pieces of shit. Let's see what this dude is doing. Zelensky says Ukrainian just want Putin dead in Christmas Eve message. He just want Putin dead.
В ніч на Різдво відкриваються небеса.
In Christmas night the heavens open.
І якщо
And if you tell them your dream, it will surely come true. What the hell is this nigga talking?
розказати їм свою мрію, вона точно здійсниться. Сьогодні мрія у всіх нас одна.
I wish they translated this. I hate this dude. I don't like that voice.
І бажання ми...
That's disgusting. I hate that language, man. Maybe it's just his accent. I can't stand it, man. He wants Putin dead. Okay, big deal. I leave dancing. It's the best way to go. Maduro turns Christmas into defiant street party. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro marked the Christmas season by joining residents in Caracas for the traditional Halacazo celebration, blending music, dance, and food with sharp political messaging. Surrounded by citizens in San Agustin del Sur, Maduro played instruments, sang, and danced while declaring that imperialism cannot defeat the Venezuelan people, calling himself a man of the barrios. The president vowed to continue fighting and returning to the streets, leaving the crowd with a defiant farewell delivered through La Nara music and dance. Is he leaving? Duck said he was coming to get him. You people have no clue what this whole, all these, I don't know how nobody knows what this celebration is about, man. You celebrating your own destruction and you think the Lord is with you, man. That's why I think something gonna happen to him, man. The cultural expression is precisely here.
Aquí, en San Agustín. Vamos a escuchar.
Te traigo un son. Y estamos en el afinque de Marín. ¡Que viva el afinque de Marín!
Bueno, eres joven, tu nombre y tu apellido. Raimir Túnez. Raimir, hoy el presidente Nicolás Maduro se ha venido a disfrutar con la juventud, con los abuelos, con los niños de la casa.
You know what? Now I see why Duck is mad at you. You dance better than him. That's why he hates you so much. He won't kill you.
Muy chamo, muy niño.
I was very young, very boy.
Tenía 16, 17 años cuando conocí todas estas calles de Marín. De aquí a la Charneca nos íbamos entre el barrio y salíamos por la Charneca a la Roca Tarpeya. Toda esta zona, yo no he sido ni seré jamás un magnate. Yo soy como ustedes, un hombre de la calle, un hombre de a pie, un hombre de los barrios. Esta es nuestra escuela, que es tan bonita. Silita, le dicen Silinda. Les quiere dar un saludo. Por eso es que el imperialismo no puede con nosotros.
Maduro's a funny ass president, man. He definitely a Jake. You know, he going with the common folk. Duck can't do that. You can tell there's some people that actually really care about him, man. They're willing to party with him. Ain't like Donald Duck. He got all celebrities and just weirdos around him. He'll have somebody like P. Diddy come to a party. Dude's out of his damn mind. Didn't he say he was gonna free him? Dumbass.
Decía Noel algo que es cierto. Yo la última vez que caminé por estas calles, que lo recuerdo, no pude volver más nunca por la tristeza. Fue el 15 de agosto de 1980 a las 5 de la tarde cuando nos anunciaron la tragedia del Grupo Madera.
Todo el mundo con los brazos arriba. Candela por aquí. Candela por allá. Candela por aquí.
Y me voy.
And I'm leaving. I don't want to say.
Despedirme no quisiera.
Goodbye. I say goodbye to La Nara.
Me despido a la llanera y me voy.
And I'm going dancing. Which is the best way.
Bailando, que es la mejor forma de irse.
I will return very soon.
Volveré muy pronto para que sigamos.
Can't continue fighting, dancing, and triumphing. I think he's mocking the duck.
Peleando, bailando y triunfando. ¡Que viva la patria!
Long live the home. Hey, scriptures say pride cometh before destruction, man. And a haughty spirit before a fall. So, you know, you can talk all the shit you want to Duck, but Duck said he even said he don't give a fuck what you do. He pretty much threatened him to leave. And I think this is why he's doing this video.
Con la expresión cultural, justamente aquí, en San Agustín. Vamos a escuchar.
Afinque son, te traigo un son. Y estamos en el afinque de Marín. ¡Que viva el afinque de Marín!
Bueno, eres joven, tu nombre y tu apellido. Raimir Túnez. Raimir, hoy el presidente Nicolás Maduro se ha venido a disfrutar con la juventud, con los abuelos, con los niños de la casa.
Yeah, something going on in Venezuela, man. I ain't never seen nothing like that. But let me grab this preset. I'm gonna end it on that. I think it's Proverbs 24. I don't know why I always. Let me just check it first. I might be wrong, but I want to see. Proverbs 24. I can't remember where it is. Pride cometh before destruction, and a haughty spirit. Proverbs 16. Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Better is to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. Let's look this up. Proverbs 16 and 18 means that excessive pride and arrogance inevitably lead to ruin and humiliation, warning that a haughty spirit makes one vulnerable to a disastrous downfall, both in worldly matters like business or sports, or spiritually. By creating distance from God, it's a timeless caution against overconfidence, highlighting that humility is far better than arrogance, which blinds people to their mistakes and risks. So I think he knows his time is coming, man. And he's like, man, fuck it. What am I gonna run to Russia? He's probably like, whoever is gonna be loyal to me, he's gonna be loyal to me, and whoever's not, it isn't. But I'm ended here. Lord's will, this was edifying. Shalom.